what you do. It's funny to me.
That's good. And now, from the betting bunker in Bushwick, let's give it up for Joel Walkowski.
What is up, folks? Hello, party people joining on the stream. If you're watching live, thank you. If you're listening tomorrow, thank you. Welcome to the Walk On. We are ready to rock on. We are ready to get our talk on all things betting. NBA, NFL, the election, golf, you name it, we got it. I am Joel Walkowski here, as always, for the Props Network. And joining me, as always, gracing me with the most guttural of intros. I think we've got an hour today. Used about 6 minutes on that intro. Brian Allen Mitchell.
Thank you. Thank you. I forgot all the words I was going to use, so you just got to go guttural for a little bit, you know.
Yeah, the words are the name of the show.
Yes.
Where you work, and the name of someone you've
Great.
known for 8 years. Hard to get those things
All right.
straight.
All right. Those are pretty hard, and you know, you now I have a list. So now it's great. Thank you. I needed that list. So we're in good shape now.
You nail it. I'm gonna buy you that present. I sent you a picture of a little Star Trek Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, I really like that. I've never really played Catan, and it's got Star Trek, so I'm in. It doesn't matter.
And I sent it to you. It's like, hey, if we had a child, it would look like this.
Yes. Just the face of a Starship Enterprise, you know, and the body of Joel Walkowski.
Absolutely. Just me with a spaceship for a head. I think that's what my fiance visualizes when we make love.
Ooh, that's hot. That's hot.
She owns a lot of Tesla stock. She loves alternative transportation.
That's good. I love. There's going to be there's a battery summit tomorrow for Tesla. I'm really excited about that.
Battery Day.
That's right.
Options traders, be careful out there. You're probably going to make a lot of money. Big announcements coming, and yeah, if you like me, I'll have the Battery Day hold my bread out tomorrow afternoon. How was your weekend, Bri Guy?
Pretty good. Had a little friend had a 40th surprise birthday, and that was fun. I've never been part of like a surprise birthday before, so it got me all the feels of like, wow, I was there, you know. It's kind of like when I watched Star Trek Undiscovered Country for the first time, you know, just a lot.
Surprise birthday, they didn't know they were having a party, or they didn't know they were turning 40?
It was a both. It was like he didn't know, but he did. It was great, and he was genuinely like surprised, so that was super cool to see.
I like the idea of a surprise party for someone who doesn't know they're 40. Hey, guess what, bitch? You got to start saving for retirement.
40 is a bad age to start saving for retirement. You're in bad shape there.
Yeah, but still in better shape than most Americans. Honestly, the best thing you can do with finance is follow my bets on this show. What a weekend. What a joyous
How are your
weekend.
bets first before we say everyone use Joel's bets? How did you do?
I'm up on the weekend, but sometimes it's about the way a bet breaks down.
Sure.
So my big play of the weekend, I put $469 on a Titans-Chiefs money line parlay.
Okay.
And it hit, and it's how you want it to hit, you know?
Parlays are hard to hit most time, right?
Yeah, well, you do the steep money line. Sometimes you can get in trouble. I know if anyone's watched this show so far, I get in trouble with the steep money lines. But yesterday was relaxing because both the games were enjoyable.
Yes.
There was a little bit of stress, but when you're back in, you know, Pat Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, you're going to feel good.
Most of the time. He kind of had a little poo-poo day for a little bit. I was like, uh-oh, like the wheels are off, buddy. But I'm like, yeah, Pat's fine. He's okay.
Chargers, always play them well. Phil Rivers, he had that 2-conversion game against them. 2-point conversion game in Kansas City around 18 months ago. Probably the best moment of regular season Phil Rivers' career.
Oh, yeah. He dreams about it every day.
And we'll get more into that later. The important thing is I'm doing good.
Good.
Last night, Seahawks-Lakers, tied them together. You're on the right side of it. If you can win 2 games on the last play and you're not stressed.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That is a gambler's dream. And I've been saying this is the Anthony Davis ascendancy.
Yeah.
And you are kind of feeling that confidence. Like him and Jokic, they're dueling. Every time Anthony gets the ball in his hands,
you know he's scoring.
So confident.
You know he's scoring.
Yeah, and I think like in this series with Rondo kind of balancing out that team, we're watching it. LeBron is handing the reins to Anthony Davis. He's got the...
You're telling me he's giving him the keys? He's giving the keys to the city already?
He's giving him the keys to the kingdom. It's King Anthony at this point. Prince LeBron.
Prince LeBron? Let's not say that to his face. I don't think he would like that. But what I love about LeBron, everything, but it's...
Where are you from?
Akron, Ohio. What I love, where I think we're seeing Alex Caruso really showing up, and LeBron loves to get guards and just mold them into his product, like Boobie Gibson. No one would know about Boobie Gibson if he wasn't passing to if LeBron wasn't passing to him.
No,
all right?
No, there's a
Chalmers.
There's a reason. Chalmers won a March Madness tournament. With a great shot. Alex Caruso is not Mario Chalmers. He is not Boobie Gibson. What Alex Caruso is he's a preemptive strike in the greatest of all time argument. Because you put Alex Caruso next to John Paxson, one looks like a basketball player, one looks me, but somehow more bald, but with more hair.
Hey, but hey, if you're gonna say in John Paxson, hey, I think that's a good matchup. I like that. Paxson versus Caruso.
Present day, I'm taking Paxson. At their peak, I'm taking Paxson.
Come on.
Alex Caruso doesn't have the frame to be an NBA player.
Yes, he does. He can dunk.
He can dunk, but he's too slight. I mean, Earl Boykins could take him in a wrestling match. I'm 100% confident in that.
Well, Earl's a tough man. So let's give Alex some time in the weight room a little bit.
All right, we will get to the basketball.
Yeah.
We have Nate Fridson in studio for a little NBA, NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest story this week, of course, the US Open was going on.
Yes.
And I kept getting, I think the biggest story in golf has to be the targeted ads I was getting asking me to borrow Phil Mickelson's Weed Whacker.
Wow. They heard you.
They heard me. Siri is listening to the walk-on. And congratulations, listeners. You've got something in common with Siri.
That's good. iOS 14 came out and just is attacking you, and that's great.
That's usually only true if my listeners are born in a Chinese factory, which is most of them.
Yeah, you know how to pick hardworking people to be friends with.
And do I know you're probably a very casual golf fan. Do you know who the U.S. Open winner was?
Yeah. Bryson. I was going to say Tiger Woods because it's just default black, but Bryson. Yeah, Bryson DeChambeau.
Bryson DeChambeau, and I know he's kind of having that crossover appeal, right?
What crossover appeal?
Dude, I was seeing Brooklyn vegan hardcore straight edge comedians tweet about Bryson yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he's got that I game but also make beer at the same time in my Brooklyn basement. So.
Yeah, you look at him and you're like, he does not use his bathtub for bathing. What's it for? And I think he's got to be great for golf, because who's the most famous golf character from a fictional book or movie? It's not Happy Gilmore.
Right.
It's Shooter McGavin.
Everyone wants to be Shooter.
Everyone wants to be Shooter, and we've got our Shooter.
That's true. Did you hear what Rory? He was like, I really don't like his play. He doesn't.
I'm going to need that with more of an impression, actually, if you're quoting Rory McIlroy.
Okay. Well, I just don't. He's not playing golf like we used to. He's not hitting the fairways. Is that good?
That is
probably
good.
Not.
That was a good. What can we get a region check for Rory McIlroy? I know it's
Northern Ireland, right?
Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I would maybe work in some more pro U2 comments.
Okay. All right.
Did you know? Just speaking of gambling news, someone made a bet 30 years ago that U2 would still be together today.
Oh, that's some Back to the Future shit right there.
Yeah, they tied it to a couple television series being on the air, and they hit the six-headed parlay, paid out 130,000 pounds.
Oh my. And that's like 230 in US.
Yeah, and 130,000 pounds, that's a lot of money. It's not just Marlon Brando's weight at his day of death.
Okay, no one weighs at the death time. No one weighs at death time, okay? You let them die.
And, I thought it'd be fun, but back to Bryson. everyone likes a villain. Right?
Yes, yeah.
And it's good to have someone who's eminently just so easy to make fun of. So I thought it'd be fun to do some Bryson DeChambeau roast jokes for you.
Please.
Okay. So you know a guy is a dick when you don't notice the hat.
Yeah.
And you can actually tell that Bryson DeChambeau is a douche because the name Bryson DeChambeau is the most likable thing about him. Bryson DeChambeau, he's a real PGA hole. For a guy who's always using irons, he looks like he's lacking it. And yesterday, I noticed that Bryson was using a 5-wood,
Yes.
which is what he calls his erect penis.
Hey, that's a good club.
All right, come up with a button for this one, Braga. He uses custom-made carbon shafts, which is a fancy way of saying he owns a dildo.
That's battery powered by Tesla.
Yeah. Happy battery day. And honestly, so many people are like me. They only watch Bryson play to see him have a major stroke.
Yeah. Oh, man. Bryson.
Yeah, he always wears a beret when the closest he'll be to Paris is getting Eiffel Towered by 2 caddies. And
Sounds like a good time.
he recently turned 27 and has a lot of clubs, which is a coincidence because most fans wish he would join the 27 club.
Oh. Oh. Bryson.
Yeah, those jokes are hitting harder than him on the drive box.
That is true. That is true.
360 yards worth of laughs. And you know Rory McIlroy would be like, you know, in my day, we didn't write roast jokes about golf champions.
There it is. There it is.
Should we do the whole show in a Rory voice?
That's really good. My favorite thing too about the Bryson post interview, he was like, "Yeah, I was just doing great. I was just great out there." Who fucking does that? Who?
Shooter McGavin
does do that. Shit, you're right. Shooter McGavin would do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have to convert some hockey players to golfers to take this guy down. And you know what? I took the administrator, the president's advice on betting John Rahm live. Didn't turn out for me, but
hey,
sometimes it's fun to light a $10 bill on fire.
That's true, but you don't want to do that in the state of Mississippi. They don't like that. No. I'm just making up things about states. So.
Yeah, and that was the first bet I've ever placed with motor oil on my hand, so I was really committed
Wow. To it. Motor City Joel.
Motor City Joel. I think I've still got the oil on my hands, and I did LSD that night, so I looked at my hands and just thought how dirty they are.
All this petrol on my hand. What is happening?
All right, so I know we at the Props Network, our goal is to guide you. We want you to bet smarter, to bet more intelligently. That's why we have a site where you can shop the lines. Well, it's illegal to bet on a U.S. presidential election. DraftKings in West Virginia, I believe, they had odds on the election, quickly taken down. But a shady offshore site is offering some Biden action that I thought was pretty suspicious, to say the least.
I just can't believe I know it's offshore, but I guess Sam was saying that they do this all around the country. Like they bet on presidential debates and stuff, right?
Yeah, they will around the world. In Europe, for example, you can bet not just on you two being together. You can bet on who's going to be the prime minister. You know, some people made some money on the Brexit election.
Yeah.
So I have a bet -800. Will Joe Biden have COVID-19 before September 25th?
Whoa. I don't. No. You don't want to press any buttons on that on this site.
I tell you, I had a perfect weekend, and I went from there to the Reddit conspiracy, and they're like, Joe Biden will have COVID-19 before the first debate.
What is that? No, don't put that. Don't put COVID on anybody.
I mean, we're putting COVID on him, but we're putting $100 in our pocket, which is more than the government's done since April.
Ooh, that is true. I'm looking for a next stimulus. Government?
Yeah, next stimulus. We don't have jobs. This is our job, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, Brian was at the very Midwestern. He said he's not going to get paid for this show till he does a good enough job. You guys write in. You let us know when Brian's able to be paid.
Hey, hey, what did LeBron say? Nothing's given, everything was earned. Okay, quote unquote.
Yeah, and LeBron famously played his rookie season for free. He said, "Give Ricky Davis more. He deserves it.
Give it to Ricky. He's the guy."
Yeah, so there is action on will Biden have COVID? Will Biden show up to a debate? There's all sorts of crazy Biden bets out there.
I can't. Well, he's going to show up. I don't know why that's a bet. They're going to come to all of them. You kind of have to.
Yeah, and there's also a line for whether he will mention COVID in the debate.
That's an easy one. Of
the
course.
only way that bet doesn't hit is if Biden preps his own notes. Corn pop.
I love corn pops. NARS.
Well,
But hey, no, I think it's going to be okay. I think these bets are in bad taste, and I think it's Russia. But I'm just calling it now. Russia conspiracy theory.
all right, it's Russia and maybe it's Polish placing the action. So let's get into it. Let's table this conversation. But before we get into the amazing events of one of the best sports weekends in the calendar year, I got to tell people about BetMGM Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of not only this show, but the Detroit Lions. One of those products is good. Okay, so BetMGM, they're live for legal betting in Colorado, Indiana, Nevada, New Jersey, and West Virginia. Don't bet on the election there. Are you betting on NFL or NBA this season? How about the U.S. Open? Take some of that action to BetMGM. Why? Because for a limited time, BetMGM has a special signing bonus for the Props Network listeners. All you have to do is create a new account at BetMGM, official sportsbook of the Detroit Lions, and use code WALKON20 and get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $500. That's right, just enter code WALKON20 and up to a $500 bonus bankroll is yours. Sounds pretty good, right, Brian?
Pretty good.
All right, let's get you out in Colorado. Let's put you on some legal weed, and then you're going to put some money under that promo code, huh?
Oh, I don't know about this legal weed. I'll get some CBD. I'll try some CBD. I'll try that.
That is the persona. Well, joining me in studio today, one of my oldest friends in New York, one of the most prolific and wonderful comics in this whole country. You might enjoy his album on Spotify, the best guy so far. Please welcome the Detroit Tiger himself, Nate Fridson.
Yeah.
My goodness, what an honor, Brian. Hello.
Hey.
Nate Dogg, how are you?
Oh my gosh, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
I call you Nate Dogg because in your comedy career, as a feature, you improved everything.
Couldn't sell that one on my own, but still pretty good.
Great cover art. He's like this in the photo. It's great. So, yeah, we had a sedentary weekend. You joined me for the Lions game last weekend. I couldn't get you over to the bet bunker on Sunday.
Sorry, I couldn't. It was Rosh Hashanah. I couldn't make it. That was the only thing keeping me. Honestly,
I thought he was put off the air because he took all those pills.
Did you have a good festivities?
Yeah, it was on Zoom this year, which was strange.
Cool.
So I got to see everyone's home at the usually I'm falling asleep.
Yeah.
So this was like you had to like stay awake and like my parents could see me on screen. That was kind of scary, but it was we did it. We did the thing.
Great.
And
Do you put a little mezuzah next to the browser window
I
or
did.
no? Hey, if you're gonna enter the Zoom, we need some good vibes,
Yeah,
huh?
you need to kiss that on the way in.
But yeah, you had a nice Rosh Hashanah. You watched a little NFL yesterday.
Did.
And the story of the NFL yesterday has to be a negative one. There were a lot of great things that happened, but pretty crippling array of injuries throughout the league.
Oh my goodness.
It almost seems as though these guys need a preseason. Who knew? At the very least, can we give the MetLife groundskeepers a preseason?
Yeah.
In that Niners game, the Niners, in their first time on that field, they had a season-ending injury to Nick Bosa. Jimmy G goes out. Raheem Mostert, fresh off an 80-yard touchdown run,
I couldn't believe
goes
that.
out soon. And the worst part of this is the Niners play on that same field next week.
I would not want to be there. I would have to figure something out.
It's gonna end George Kittle's career. He's gonna come back. That's gonna be it.
Yeah, George Kittle has to come out with a sprained knee, trotting that out on this terrible field. And I know the field is bad because I was working a production design gig in MetLife a few years ago.
Yeah.
No one was guarding the field. I went out
You
there.
just go in there?
I took my lunch break at the 50-yard line.
That's amazing.
Yeah, usually you don't eat your lunch there at the 50 unless you're a defensive end coming for Daniel Jones.
But yeah, I couldn't even believe these are high market people, and to not have it, have them there.
Here's what I don't understand. Why is it bad?
Why is it bad?
I don't know. We all live in the tri-state area. Anyone having a hard time finding contractors and day laborers? Anybody? Why is it bad? I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Yeah, how hard is it to find turf? I got this turf at Home Depot for $20. I did as good of a job as the people who paint the midfield of MetLife.
Yeah.
Employ me at the walk-on. We only tape Mondays, Wednesdays, and Tuesdays, so wrong order for those. Huh?
But they verified the field today.
What does that mean?
I don't even know what that. Did you have an NFL player making cuts? Like what is
I
that?
scanned the NFL logo with my phone. It says it's good now. So
Just add the
what
QR
does that
code.
mean?
Yeah.
I don't. I thought the indoor ones were the bad ones. Those were the ones. That
Most
I
of the
thought
time
were
they
so-
are.
But the indoor runs, they used to be the bad fields, but actually that's one of the Lions' biggest contribution to NFL history. We started using the field turf made of like diced up tires.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
That's
at
like
MetLife.
our main export now from Detroit. That's like the number one.
Just got up tires.
Discarded tires.
Yeah,
It's like,
no one's
what we-
buying these American-made automobiles. What are we going to do with them? Scrap
them
them
up.
for parts. No one's buying parts. Well, we've got a football stadium the Ford family's building.
Oh boy, it's just.
And against all odds, I can't recall any real like life or career-ending injuries on Ford Field. Just people usually make their career against the Lions. Actually, it's like a much different vibe. You know, they have
I hear a lot of
best play of their career.
I hear a
on
lot of
that
turf toe. You get a lot of turf toe.
Yeah,
on
that's
that
true.
thing.
Calvin Johnson is no longer playing, so that's fine.
Yeah, he's a quitter. But yeah, we don't have just the Niners injured. Saquon Barkley's out for the year. Christian McCaffrey's out for 6 weeks. And if you had a top 3 pick in your fantasy draft, congratulations, you're out of the league already.
Yeah, I had McCaffrey, and he's going to be out for like 6 weeks. High ankle sprains are not good. They're not. You're never going to be good after that.
I sprained my ankle. I got a high ankle sprain on July 4th. Still bothering me.
Yeah,
My mom was floating in a tube down the river. I had to go get her, so it's the price you pay.
that's great.
Did you play on it though? Did you play hurt?
Yeah, you know me. I always play her.
See, that's the thing. You know, it's like there's different. You know, different players are different types. You know, you play on that high ankle sprain and you're not good. That's I don't know. It's tough. He's going to be hurt for a while. They're all going to try to play. Anyone who has a high ankle sprain is going to try to play.
And it always sucks. Then it hurts something else in your leg. And then you tear your Achilles, and you're calling it a day.
It's a chain reaction because you're not ready to get through 16 games. A lot
Hell
of these guys
no.
aren't through 2. And like, look at just the Green Bay and Detroit game yesterday. Green Bay is missing their best lineman on both sides of the ball. The Detroit Lions don't have a secondary. Everyone has the same injury, a strained hamstring.
Yep.
Right.
And that is a preseason. That's a preseason injury.
Yep.
And to think that these players can go full speed without seeing any other NFL player and just playing your squad, no. The speed is different. Everyone knows the speed's different. So you're telling me like Calais Campbell's coming at me real fast, like, oh, I've seen this before. No, you didn't. You just saw him. Right. You know, this is there's so many new pieces in the NFL, and you have to deal with that and try to just go through a game without even getting injured, and that's not happening to any team at all.
Yeah,
you're getting like 3
and
or
as
4.
you said, like it makes everything different. Like it makes the way you run different. Like we're all athletes here.
Yeah, yeah.
I could say this as a former dog walker. I would occasionally hurt my foot, and it would change the way I walked the entire rest of the week.
Right.
And then I'm not good till Monday again. I need those 2 days.
You need those 2 days.
I need those 2 days, and I'm on my feet.
Yeah, honestly, I have the list of all the players injured yesterday. It's probably around 150 marquee guys. Look at this scroll.
Ugh.
That is a lot. Luckily, the 4 o'clock slate, they got their work in order. No, not many people were hurt, but the
Drew
1 o'clock
Lock.
slate.
Drew Lock he crashed. I think he's a 1 o'clock. So.
Yeah, Drew Lock is out of there, but luckily, former Detroit Lion Jeff Driscoll.
Oh, they were able to get Driscoll?
Yeah, they got Driscoll.
Oh, wow. Dude, they can't believe he was available. What a year he had last year, man.
He was the best of the Lions' 5 backup quarterbacks they went through last year.
Oh, boy.
We missed something when we lost him. And imagine being a Broncos fan. You're missing not only Drew, you're missing Jerry Jeudy, you're missing Cortland Sutton, you're missing Von Miller.
went down. Oh,
Every reason you have to be excited about this season is now obsolete. I've been talking about the Broncos on this show the entire time.
Yeah.
I will no longer be talking about the Broncos on
Did you
this.
see Drew get hit by Bud? He just got smacked into the ground, and you knew his that shoulder's gone. There's nothing in there anymore.
Yeah, and he's a guy that's predicated on arm strength, and it's probably going to disrupt his entire career because they didn't block a Pittsburgh Steeler.
You can't.
Okay.
They're so good.
Let's get into something fun. We had a genuinely great Sunday night football game.
Yes.
We had Seahawks. We had Patriots. Did you guys enjoy that?
Oh, yeah. Great game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for my own competition purposes, I had people on my team on my fantasy team in the game, so it was playing well. It was great. Everyone was doing well in that game. Even players you don't really trust, like Chris Carson, were playing well. It was fantastic.
Nicole told me I have to talk about Russell Wilson a lot.
Okay.
And it's weird. Let me just give the caveat. Everyone's talking about, he's the best player in football. He's the most underrated guy.
Yeah.
And usually that kind of sets you up for a letdown. Not with Russell Wilson.
No,
No
he's been
way.
there.
And everyone, not everyone, but I'm hearing like, Josh Allen for MVP. Hello, we have a Super Bowl winning QB. Let's give him some praise for a little bit, please.
He should be first in line for that. And he's better. He's a better player.
He's a better
It's just-
player.
Josh Allen is off to a great start to this season, and I wish him the best in his diversity training. But Russell Wilson is obviously the best. Is obviously the better player.
Hey, you
Hands
can tell
down.
Josh Allen attended that diversity training. He did not go to Cole Beasley down the stretch. A lot of growth from him yesterday.
A lot of Stephon Diggs. So you see that happening
Yeah,
now.
Gotta keep Stephon happy.
What are the Russell Wilson MVP odds now? They were 650 going into that Sunday night game. We might want to think about throwing a few shekels on that account. Stand by.
Oh man, and DK Metcalf is what a steal for a second round receiver.
And I know, Brian, you as a minority, like,
Thank you.
You representation matters, and honestly, it's fulfilling to me to see an NFL player with my same body type. So, hats off
I thought
to
that
DK
was going to be
Metcalf.
nice up
Yeah,
top,
yeah, I thought that
and,
was gonna be-
and then he went to Josh Allen's diversity training. Again.
No, I'm just saying I got big muscles. That's a nice thing. I
It
didn't
is.
insult
It
anyone.
is. Yeah. He's great.
Plus 300. What are the Josh Allen odds? Can we? I wish there were option bets for like futures bets in that.
Plus 2,000.
Okay.
Is
So
that good? Is that?
that's a nice payout. That's 20-1. You put $100 there. You potentially get $2,000 back if the impossible happens.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know. With all these people going down, Josh might be the only quarterback standing.
Yeah, but
So-
if in order for Josh Allen to win, a good thing would have to happen to like somebody from Buffalo. So I don't think that's just kind of written out.
and I mean, if Josh Allen is the only one left standing, that just means his feet are planted correctly for the first time in his life. The dude looks like a rocket when he throws the ball.
Oh yeah.
So that was a great game. I think it was a potential, like, either of those teams could make the Super Bowl. I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
And the Cam Newton story in New England,
He's doing it, Peter. He's doing
fun.
it.
It's a fun story, and
Yeah.
you could tell that they've busted out that playbook specifically for Cam.
Yeah.
I mean, and like there's other players on the team, like Cam didn't look up from his playbook on a 6-hour flight. Like, he's setting a positive example to New England Patriots. That's
Yeah.
amazing to me.
Yeah.
That is incredible. There's a lot of people who had to like take down some posts, I think, for when they signed him. There's people.
Oh,
who were,
yeah.
There's a lot of people in New England who were like thought this was going to go one way, and it is going the other way. And I can't imagine the confusion. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they're like they took it down, but they're just hidden them. They're just hid. So like I might pop
They'll
up.
be back. They'll be
Yeah,
back in
they
week
might be
7.
back up if he messes up. But he's bringing the team. Oh, he's rallying the team when they're down, and he's making plays. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you want from Cam.
He's doing everything, and he looks great.
Yeah.
He looks spiteful, I would
Yeah.
say.
Which is hard to do in a yellow hat.
It is. It's hard to do when you're dressed like a cartoon wolf to to look anything but horny.
But he is good.
Cam, he's playing like Cam Newton, but there's a dimension as a pocket passer that he's never had. Like guys like Demare Bird are turning into go-to guys for him,
And Julian Edelman just had a career day, right? He had like the best day. He had
179.
179,
something like that. Yeah, 175,
Man,
179.
talk about getting over an ex. My goodness, that's the best. Like,
And my favorite thing about Julian, he's happy. You can see he's smiling. You know, a person that had that relationship with Brady for that long, you would think that would, like, I don't know about this guy, but he's just stepped up and shows like, hey, Cam wants to work, I'll go to work too.
I think that relationship with Edelman's relationship with Brady is more like Tiger Woods' relationship with his old caddy.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we think these two are friends because we keep seeing them botch high fives, but they're just, it's like working with a type A personality.
Yeah.
It's miserable.
and like, it's a miracle that Cam is now a pocket passer. It's a miracle that the Cowboys had an amazing comeback yesterday. Matt Ryan, he likes computers, blows the lead once again. With 2 minutes and 33 seconds, Dallas had a less than 2% win probability. They come out on top. I had it in the tees. Beautiful victory thanks to the greatest onside kick in NFL history.
Yes.
So, big week for niche plays. We have the greatest block in NBA history and the greatest onside kick.
Yeah. I just feel bad for Matt Ryan, man. How much do you have to like take?
It's the crazy thing is like it goes on. It kind of, I guess it goes on him, but they scored 39 points.
Yeah.
Like that's not on him.
I'm not putting it on him. No, not at all.
And he's blowing leads. The Lions have blown 4 consecutive games in which they've had double-digit leads, and Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford are best friends. You guys got to stop hanging out. You are enabling each other.
We can't have it. It's I can't have this influence. I thought, I can't have it anymore.
And all of a sudden, the Dallas Cowboys are in the driver's seat in their division. I think they're minus 200 odds for it. Meanwhile, Philadelphia is struggling mightily. And it got so bad in their game against the Rams yesterday, thankfully we were on the right side of it, that they made their digital fans boo Carson Wentz. Have you guys ever been booed by a digital crowd before?
Not yet, but I mean, phase 2's coming. So, it's happening.
Usually, if you're going to get that bad of a response from a fake crowd, you're Robert De Niro in The King of Comedy. And I got to bless the whoever works in the Eagles front office who okayed that. God bless you.
I wondered like how far they went. They're like, all our fans at home, throw a battery at your TV.
I imagine they have those actually. They're going down to Philadelphia's Chinatown. They're getting those cats from the window, and they're gonna train those to throw batteries at Carson Wentz.
I love those things.
You love those cats?
I love those cats.
We were all like at the edge of our seat. Is he gonna say he invented those cats?
Well, I wish. That's a $1 billion corporation right there.
No, I'm allergic. And Brian, while we're here, Philly right now, they're a game out, and they are plus 220 to win that division versus a Mike McCarthy team. Sam, you control the accounts. You're a Philly fan. Can we throw down on that? No.
I saw him waking. I think I know what that means.
Okay, so we know there's an expanded playoff field. We know it's going to be a wild season. So let's look at some 0-2 teams that can make noise in the postseason. Right now, I see the Texans. No one had a harder start. They started against the Chiefs. They started against the Ravens. And now they're 2 games back of what I think is a pretty crappy Titans team, plus 600 to win the division.
I think they're going to go 0-3, man. I think they might just. I kind of feel like they're going to do a little. They're not going to win for a while.
No, they're going to win for a while because they have the. No, you might be right, actually.
Because they play the Steelers next, right?
They play the Steelers, then they've got the similarly struggling Vikings, who I would take a look at.
Yeah.
I see nothing to value Green Bay right now.
True, but do you see how the Vikings? No, they don't have Kevin Stefanski. And look at them now.
Okay, have the floor. Talk about the Browns' run game. You've got 3 minutes on the clock.
Okay, hold on. Let me change cameras. Hold on. Hold on.
So this whole time we've been saying, like, yeah, the Browns are a good football team if they figure out how they're actually a good football team. And they did on Thursday night.
They figured it out. Kareem is he's so slippery. He's like a wet seal. Like that, because those were wet.
That's a good nickname.
The wet seal?
The wet seal.
I like that.
Kareem the wet seal hunt. I like that.
I think I'm going to try to get him to that. And Nick, I mean, we know what we're going to get out of Nick. And Baker just did his job. And moving, I don't know why Kevin didn't do this before, but just moving in and out of the pocket. Like, let him be Russ. Russ is great when he's going left, right, and just dicing up defenses. And that's what we need Baker to do. He kind of put us, he threw that interception late because he was trying to do the dagger move, and you can't do that. Yeah, it's like, cool. I'm glad you can do that, but you have a team that Joe Burrow's throwing like 61 times. They want to win, so just control the ball. Okay, just
I like that we in this short amount of time we've said Russell Wilson is a good bet for the MVP, and Baker Mayfield plays like him.
Yeah, but he's a discount version of Russell Wilson.
Yes, yeah, he's a young version.
It's about where you're drafted, where you find success. Like, fit matters with these guys. If Baker Mayfield was drafted to the Seattle Seahawks and Pete Carroll, and he was brought along by a franchise that knows what they're doing, yeah, maybe he would be better than he would be right now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, Baker goes to a franchise they're obsessed with, I guess, tricking people out of money at truck stops.
Hey, that's the second time you brought that up, and leave them alone. Okay?
I think they're the only team that's been like historically more focused on special teams than other parts of the game. Don't you think?
Yeah. Their Ring of Honor.
They gave Josh Cribbs all that money.
Josh Cribbs,
He
Eric
deserved
Metcalf. Those are the only guys in there.
That dude, he was playing receiver and quarterback. They had no other option.
He played 3 positions, none of them well.
Don't you say that. Don't you say that about him. He's a Hall of Famer. Hey, whoa. Hey, you'll see. You'll see.
Is he we talk about archaic Hall of Fames. Is there a Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame?
In our hearts.
I mean, there's a Michigan Jewish Sports Hall of Fame. Of course, there's a Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame.
Last week I was talking about the Polish American Sports Hall of Fame in Hamtramck, Michigan. I saw Krzyzewski get inducted.
Proud moment.
Okay, so we saw Brown's victory. We saw Joey B get the nickname Backdoor Burrow. And there was another rookie who got a start yesterday, who got the start literally 5 seconds before kickoff. Justin Herbert looked phenomenal.
Yes. A little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
You sound like his coach right now, because my biggest problem with Anthony Lynn wasn't punting it to Pat Mahomes on a 4th and 1. After the game, you're in charge of developing this rookie quarterback. Anthony Lynn is asked, what'd you think about Justin Herbert's performance today? And me personally, we were watching here. We loved him. I saw grit. I saw him moving the ball down the field and him going toe-to-toe with the toughest opponent possible. He hit guys.
He ran one in. He threw one. I mean, didn't he?
That's true.
Yeah. He displayed literally everything you wanted from a starting quarterback with no practice reps. Anthony Lynn's asked, what'd you think of him? Well, we lost the game, so I didn't think he did a very good job. What? Justin Herbert didn't lose that game. You did, Anthony Lynn. Don't pass the buck to him. I guess COVID is staying in people's brain stems because you're seeing it with Anthony Lynn losing yet another close game.
It was close. I think I just need my boy to get some, what is that for acne? I need my boy to get some fresh face, man.
I forget what that's called.
Clearasil, Proactive Solution.
I need him to do some Proactive.
Yeah, some of that,
if you're going to be the face of the franchise, my baby, you got to make that face the franchise. Come on.
You don't want to see him own it like the brow?
No, this is my thing. I'm the adult acne.
I have adult acne. And no, it's not steroids.
Yeah, but he looked great. I couldn't believe how well he looked with no practice reps, and it was insane that Anthony Lynn would throw his rookie quarterback, who performed heroically, under the bus. Meanwhile, we talk about gambling. We talk about enjoyable afternoons. Man, we had a dicey moment here as Harrison Butker went to kick that kick 3 separate times, making it every time. We've got $700 hanging in the balance. Thankfully, things go our way. The Chargers, I've always rooted for them.
Yeah.
And that's probably because they have so much in common with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Blowing games constantly, nothing but disappointment. So I've found my second franchise.
That's good.
Light blue uniforms.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
Right.
one marketable superstars, no team success, and somehow the Chargers found a way to give their fans a better product by leaving.
But how dope for that kicker to hit it 3 times, like 50 yards, nailing it. That doesn't. No one. Everyone. There's so many kickers on the street because they missed a 20-yarder.
Yep.
You know.
And it's got to be hard to be a kicker just because Justin Tucker's owned like the top spot for so long.
So long, yeah.
And to have to kick outside too. That's the thing. Guys who have kick outside, like like Tucker and Butker, it's like that's to me that's like
Yeah.
that's so crazy that there are some kickers who get to spend 8 games inside plus. That's wild to me.
Just
What up,
chilling.
Matt Prater?
Yeah.
So yeah, for the first time, there is a best kicker in the NFL debate. I'm gonna go Chiefs here.
Yeah.
I think you have to go. You have to go that after that.
Yeah, that was the we saw that and the Stephen Gostkowski meltdown in the same week.
What that was fun. I not that I want him to get the yips, but man, that was fun, huh?
Yeah, you see to watch that game 6 days after watching the Gostkowski meltdown. I just had a special appreciation for the Chiefs kicker and the $757 it netted into my account.
Wow. Hey, that's a big score.
$1 million, like he's got a $757 leg.
Is that good?
Yes. The alternative was a call my credit card company and dispute a charged leg. Don't do that. So last part on NFL, it's 2 things. One, surprisingly hard to bet against Gardner Minshew.
You can't with Minshew madness. All right, the guy's a gamer.
He's a good player. He's absolutely confident. He's ruining the Jaguars' tank job. So, props to him. If he wasn't such a goofy-looking idiot, people would take him more seriously. And the same could be said for me.
Absolutely true. I like to think of him as like the guy from Dazed and Confused actually grew up and played football. Randall Pink Floyd.
Yeah, I love that. They're a scrappy team. I was telling you about that running back, that undrafted running back. He's like, I think he could.
Robinson?
Yeah,
Yep.
like the dude's good.
Yeah, some people, they just have a name that's too anonymous, and I think you can relate to that as Brian Mitchell. Okay. Are you in a state with legal online sports betting? Then you need to check out thepropsnetwork.com before you make a bet. Props Network is a sports bettor's best friend, which is amazing because a sports bettor has a friend in this situation. You want more sports betting news and exclusive sportsbook bonuses? How about free betting picks and live odds comparisons for every NBA, NFL, MLB, and NHL game? You get all of it at thepropsnetwork.com. Right now, at the Props Network, you can claim $30 free bets, 0 deposit required to try Unibet Sportsbook. And I'm just going to pause from the ad read and say, that's an amazing promotion. You should absolutely try it if you're one of the states where you can do it. Dip your toe in the water. Try it out. Dad, I know you're listening in Indiana. Maybe throw down a wager. Maybe you could throw down a wager tonight on the Saints if you're watching the stream. Or you could do that, or you can deposit the money. And Dad, don't have your credit card out near a computer because otherwise you will buy Joe Schmidt autographed memorabilia. Or this birthday gift, which was a signed card by O.J. Simpson.
Hey, that's
Okay, the juice.
Yeah, and I asked him, why'd you send me that? Well, you're always talking about the juice. And, okay, you could do that, or you could take 4 free bets totaling up to $1,000 at PointsBets. And the Props Network is where you can find out about weekly promos and bet boosters from every top U.S. online sportsbook. If you're into this stuff, there are some great promos that you can throw down on. It puts some extra money in your pocket. There's a nice form of loyalty bonuses where you've seen things like Chiefs getting plus 54 in the kickoff. DraftKings had a nice $1 to win a $100 bet. So there are some great promotions here. So we're not just like a gambling advice site. We're a bang for your buck site. We're for the thrifty gambler. Be a thrifty gambler. Go to thepropsnetwork.com. Man, it's nerve-wracking. The only time I get nervous on the show is when I freelance during the ad reads, but I did it nailed it, with grace and aplomb, baby. So let's get to the main event. We are talking NBA with one of the great NBA holes, Nuggets Lakers. Is it the Anthony Davis era?
I heard you talking earlier about him. A big fan of the shows. I heard you talking about him handing the keys over. And here's the thing with that. One, first of all, like, are we sure he would stay with if LeBron wasn't there? Would he stay with the Lakers? Or are you saying this is his keys as the great player of the moment?
Yeah, as the great player of the moment, because as we've seen Giannis ascend, as we've seen Luka and Jokic and a verisimilitude of other players, we've kind of seen Anthony Davis get passed over when he's the real blue chip prospect.
He can do it all. He can do that. Giannis has the health over him. Has the bill of health, that you can count on him before this season, obviously.
Yeah, but Anthony Davis has the advantage where he's good in the last 5 minutes of games.
No, that's true. Anthony Davis can shoot, and that is an advantage in a sport that is predicated on that. But I kind of think I don't know. I try to look for comparisons, other, for analogies with it, and it's is Anthony Davis is very good. If LeBron is handing the keys off to him, I feel like this is more like a Puffy Mace situation than it is like a Biggie Jay-Z situation.
Oh, wow. That's, I mean, you might, so you think in 10 years, Anthony Davis will be a bankrupt preacher?
Yes, I do think he's going to find God.
Yeah.
But he'll also find the beat to Welcome Back, which is an all-time beat, a great beat.
That is true.
So
I don't know. I feel like Anthony Davis, you kind of didn't get how big of a superstar he was in New Orleans unless you really watched him for the Pelicans. He swept a Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum team out of the playoffs single-handedly, and even now, this is a pretty good Nuggets team that's defending him, and they can't do anything.
Yeah, I think one thing that Anthony Davis does really well is he more so than I think any big man I can think of in the game right now plays well with size.
Yes,
with other big men, he can play well. We saw that in New Orleans with Boogie, and then we're seeing that now with the rotation of centers they can put him with. They can also put him with LeBron, who's essentially a 4 now. So I think that is extremely impressive about him.
Yeah, and I think if you're a young big and you go to the Lakers, that's your meal ticket. And there is no historical comp for Anthony Davis. There's never been anyone like him, and the closest I can come up with is another great Laker. I see a little Kareem in him. If Kareem came of age today, he does everything Anthony Davis does. Anthony just has a 3-point shot and a little bit more handles. They're reliant not on brute strength or jumping out of the gym. They're great players because of grace and body control and this form of athleticism that a lot of professional athletes don't really have.
I'm glad you said that because his makeup makes him a threat everywhere on the court.
Yep.
That's hard to do for a big man.
And with that winning shot the other night, I mean, that's a play you drop for a guard. That's a 2-3 play.
It's legit. There. It was. That's what Jason Tatum did to try to seal the Heat game.
We'll get to him. We've got some thoughts on him, and honestly, it was amazing to watch him and Jokic go back and forth in the last 2 possessions of that game and having full confidence in both of them. Jokic versus AD. I want both of you to complete this sentence. Jokic versus AD was the best big man battle since...
Ooh. Big man battle. So you got to go... Ooh. I would say maybe like a David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon.
Well, I mean, there are a number to pick from... Obviously, Ben Wallace, Shaq.
Homer alert.
Is a great big man battle. Who?
It's a tough.
Who was the when Boston won? Who was the big man on the Lakers? They didn't have. Pau
They had
yet,
Kendrick
right?
Perkins versus Gasol.
Oh, so I mean, you wouldn't say Garnett versus Gasol?
Maybe, but these guys, like, look at the 4 teams left. A big man is the best player on 3 of them.
Yeah.
You have Davis, Jokic, and Bam in Miami. Like, we've spent 5 years living in the shadow of the Warriors, talking about how it's a guards league, and we get it, and we're turning the clock back to 1995. And the pivot, it's pivotal.
I mean, it's really tough for that battle because it's not. That battle has evolved now.
Yeah.
So these big guys, what we call what we were saying 6'9" or so, those are those guys that battle has changed to that small forward versus small forward,
And they're all skilled in a way that big men did not used to be skilled.
Yeah.
All of them can play on the perimeter and can do effective things on the perimeter. Both Bam and Jokic are great passers. AD has shown he has range and, not a terrible passer, but obviously not the 7-foot tall point guard that Jokic is. And Bam is no slouch there either.
Yeah, and there is something to, it's a guards league. You can win with shooting threes and getting to the free throw line. Maybe it just took this 5 to 7 year period for the player development of big men to catch up.
It's all because of our friend Dirk. Dirk really showed you can shoot the ball. You can shoot the ball with one leg and still be profitable.
Yeah, have you guys heard this move they're trying to they keep trying to like trademark for Jokic?
Huh.
What is it, the Somar shuffle or something or
Yeah.
whatever?
No.
It's like he's doing his one-legged jumper, but they can't call it the Dirk
Right.
because it's not quite the same and it comes usually more on the baseline, but it's like, is this from his hometown? I don't know what this word is.
Yeah.
Sophomore?
I know. I've never heard of it.
Fact checker Brian.
I've done zero research into it. I keep hearing Mike Breen say it like I'm supposed to know that it's like the Dream Shake.
Yeah, and people, they get too excited about a white basketball player. I'm sick of every time Jokic or Gordon Hayward have a big moment, it becomes a meme about what these guys look like.
Yeah.
Can we just accept that these guys are professional athletes and maybe a little goofiness is more reflective on the person taking it in and passing judgment than the athlete in question?
Ooh, dropping bombs here,
Yeah.
Joel.
Stop body shaming these athletes.
I mean, Gordon Hayward, he's getting crap for having a mustache and that's far from the most outrageous look I've seen these playoffs.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting the dichotomy of a mustache. With Gardner Minshew, we think it's the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah.
With Gordon Hayward, we're like, you believe this idiot from Portland? Like, look at this dumbass kombucha brewing. Like, it's fun. It's crazy. But it's all. I guess it's the goodwill, and it's whether or not you believe Black Lives Matter. I don't know. But that's all. That's between Gordon and the Lord.
Yeah, but everyone just assumes Gordon Hayward is a racist. It's been a punchline for years now without a shred of credible. The dude played in Utah, and he didn't have a choice in that.
Yeah.
He
That's true.
left as soon as he could.
For Boston. I mean, that's
Utah of the East.
Yeah, I mean, let's make fun of a guy that's making multi-million of dollars because that doesn't work. I don't know why people just look at that. It's a waste of time.
Because for some reason it's mean when you point out that his bones are brittle. I think I think that's that's like a low blow. So we're like, yeah, but like he looks dumb. This father of 4.
A low blow is what got him into these situations.
That's true.
Thank you, Kyrie Irving. The world is flat, and now so are Gordon Hayward's arches. Okay, so let's talk Celtics Heat. How many young assets in the league would you want over Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero?
Yeah, they can have almost everyone on the Pistons. I don't care.
Yeah, if that's a package, just give me those two.
Like
and I'll give you.
you probably pick either of them over Jaylen Brown. I don't know if you pick him over Jason Tatum, but the fact that these guys are doing what they're doing on the biggest stage is remarkable to me.
I think it's a matter of what you want when you compare it to someone like Jaylen Brown, because Jaylen Brown to me has there's a higher variance in what he could do.
Yeah.
Whereas I see like Duncan Robinson is very steady, astonishingly just steady, and one of the quickest releases I've ever seen. When he catches the ball in the corner, it doesn't come down at all.
He had
That's crazy.
He made a 3 where he didn't catch the ball. He caught it mid-release.
Yeah, and he just bats it up. It's amazing.
And there's plays that they run for Robinson and Hero that only Golden State runs for Steph Curry. There are sets, they get him the ball off a little bubble screen, and they put it up immediately.
Yeah.
That's some Golden State shit. They've got the Splash Brothers 2.0 there, potentially.
Well, Tyler Hero already believes that about himself. If you saw the sheer volume of shots he took last game. That was they were letting him you cook. You do whatever you want, Tyler.
And the thing is, he can cook, though.
He can, but he also...
Yeah,
he can also clank.
Yeah,
do that.
yeah. There's too much, they gave him the keys to the city a little bit too quickly.
I mean, a guy shows up in Miami looking like Machine Gun Kelly. They're gonna give him the keys to the city. I just think they're ready to hand this man all the jumpsuits he wants.
Yeah,
Yeah, he has the keys to the city, and they're just now finding out he plays for the Heat. They thought he was a DJ down there for Art Basel. While we're here, I'm just going to go back up and point out that the Lakers' Game 2 victory shifted their title odds from -250 to -500. So that's a pretty influential game, too.
Yeah.
Money's pouring in on them. So, okay. We talk about the Celtics. They're an ideal basketball team. They're well built. There's a democracy there. Mm-hmm. Is that stupid? Should they just throw that all away and build around Jason Tatum?
I think they're gradually doing that, don't you think?
Kind of, but watching them be in these tight games, and Jason Tatum, I don't want to like Jason Tatum.
No, he's just exactly the sort of basketball player I'd like to have on my team.
Yeah,
I don't want to like him, but
he's got all the promise in the world. He's got 2 problems that he needs to figure out, which is the fadeaway in traffic and his relationship with the referees.
Yes.
But if I'm a Boston fan, which I am through marriage, and I kind of want to just get rid of Kemba, get rid of Gordon, have Jalen as Pippen, and give him that James Harden usage rate.
The thing is, in addition to the things he has to work on, I think his creation at the end of the game could use some work.
Yes.
And I think that's where Boston's system really benefits him, is that they share the ball. It moves from either side of the court. It's, they do, lateral passing, lateral movement. It's everything's in motion.
Yeah.
And when he had that end of game shot, was that game 1?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That he had the shot at game 1, you could see that he can do it. I mean, he could physically do it, but that's not the situation you want to put him in, I think.
Yeah, but I think you just want to give him the reps now for the player he'll be, because he's still amazingly young.
Yeah.
I believe he's 21 years old. And this is the best trial by far you could get. You're going against all those switchable bigs in Toronto. You're going against this bulldog of a Miami Heat team.
Oh my God.
So,
but what do you build? What is the optimal 5 for Tatum?
you have Tatum, Brown, Tice, Marcus Smart. You add in a Ricky Rubio esque point guard, and you make it Tatum's team. You don't need guys like Kemba, who are great players, but I don't necessarily want Kemba Walker creating shots in isolation. Hayward's fine because he's a distributor, but I don't really like the Kemba Walker fit on that team.
No, Kemba is someone that needs his own team. I think this is something he's figuring out too.
He needs his own team in the city of Charlotte. That's how Kemba Walker is happy. No stakes. You wilt under the pressure, and you'll make the occasional All-Star game. Congratulations, you're the rich man's Jason Terry.
That's a good Jason Terry. Yeah, he did pretty good.
If you could, so you want a point guard with him who doesn't shoot or who is not trying to score, essentially.
Yeah, but I want Jason Tatum to have a top 5 usage rate in the league, and because I kind of see that not only can he do what any perimeter player does, he can also do that kind of Giannis-y get to the rim whenever he wants thing.
He can do that.
If you cultivate around that, he has the ability to be kind of a mix of LeBron and KD in my book.
He could. I just don't. The thing is, like, LeBron came into the league with this just uncanny court. It's hard to like compare someone to LeBron because no player. I haven't seen a player with size come in with that kind of court vision besides like maybe Ben Simmons. But that's like not. Is that even really like? It's not on that level.
Right.
But maybe Ben Simmons is the right player to play with Jason Tatum.
That's a good
All
idea.
right, maybe the GMs will do that over the offseason. And I'm sorry, I talk about Jason Tatum every episode, and that's just because I'm falling in love. So
I'm falling in love with you.
So before we get out of here,
Do we have the rights on that song?
Yeah. It's like $80 right there.
What song was that? Was that a lyric?
I think
I'm
it
falling in love with you.
It was a Puff Daddy Mace track. I'm just kidding.
You were not allowed to listen to that growing up as a Jehovah's Witness. No way.
No way. No way.
Prince only.
Prince and little Michael Jackson. So.
Oh, who's little Michael Jackson?
The only Michael Jackson we're allowed to acknowledge anymore, actually.
So let's talk about this series moving forward. The odds makers, they kind of overvalue Boston. Right now, they're minus 135 to win the series.
That's wild.
Yeah. Do I hedge my heat for the series bet? Do I put a little Boston action with them favored right now?
I can't believe Gordon Hayward's return would swing the odds that much. That is really astonishing to me that would happen.
And if you can hear the faint smoke alarms, that just means Sam's fiance is cooking. Here's hoping she's not watching. I'll be in trouble for that.
That's the other upstairs neighbor.
Oh, yeah, allegedly.
Hey, if City Field's burning, we're just trying to mimic. Yeah.
City Field's burning. Our takes are hot. Everything. Alarms are going off.
Yeah, I mean, I probably deserve that for my LeBron KD hybrid comparison for Jason Tatum. So that one's on me. I can no longer call Kawhi Leonard a perfect basketball player, so I got to go somewhere. So we know how playoff series break down, and I'm going to be betting this game tomorrow. Line is Celtics by 3. Who do I take?
Oh, damn it. I think the Celtics.
Celtics by 3?
Yeah.
I'm grabbing those points. I'm taking the Heat. I like the Heat.
Yeah.
I can't believe, it's gotten to the point with the Heat, I'm surprised when they lose. I see them they're in the games. They're in every game. And they are just like you said, they're a bulldog. They just keep coming.
Yeah, because the game on Saturday night, that was a Celtic blowout that they won by 5 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want that cushion.
I mean, the Boston's always good to try to get the score. They like to even up, and they'll just play hard defense. It's going to be 50 to 72. That's going to be like the fourth quarter. That's how they play, though.
And the Boston Celtics have now been in 12 consecutive games in which the road opponent has won. So we talk about home field not mattering anymore. The Boston Celtics are the poster child. The last time they won, the home team won, was Game 2 against Philadelphia in round 1.
Whoa.
Good stat.
Think about it.
Yeah.
You have this series. You have that Toronto one.
Right.
7 games. Road team won all of them, and Philly was not winning a game in that series.
Hell
no. They need to go on a vision quest. They need they need a reset.
Well, Joel, if you want to go on a vision quest, hit me up. 313-917-9977. I know you live in New York sometimes, so let me take you to dimensions you never dreamed of. And hey, let me introduce you to non-dairy ice cream while we're at it. Am I the person to change Joel Embiid's life?
You're the man.
If he had my lifestyle, we wouldn't be talking about Jokic or Davis. We'd be talking about Joel Embiid now.
That's true. He could. You have lower percent body fat than him, I think. So,
Congrats.
Well, this was a fun episode. Follow Nate on all platforms. Twitter's especially great. Is it Nate Fridson or N Fridson?
At Nate Fridson, NateFridson. And on Instagram at Fridskins if you want to see nothing. I don't post anything there. So don't follow me there. Just Twitter, at Nate Fridson.
Just Twitter. And if you are, we'll be back for Walk On Podcast, live stream Wednesday, Pod out Thursday. We're gonna go deep into Boston again. Randy Gardner, aka Francis from NFL Fan Therapy, will be sitting in, and then next week we've got some big MLB stuff planned. So before we go, if you're watching on the stream, why don't you stick around for our Monday night pickoff? I'm gonna tell you where the money will be this Monday evening. My boss, Sam, in addition to making the poor financial decision to hire me, will be backing the Raiders this evening. +4. It's falling.
+4.
Let me double down on that. So we going right into the picks?